All right, so today I wanted to talk about how I started a nonprofit when I was 10 years old, and we've raised over $115,000 so far. So let's talk about that story. So I've mentioned my nonprofit before a couple times on this channel as I was getting ready for fundraising events or doing different things for it. But I wanted to talk more about the story of how I got started, how we raised that much money, and then where the nonprofit is now. And we actually have an event coming up this next Saturday. I will link all the details below, so go check it out. But I really wanted to talk about this story because this is something that is really close to my heart. I'm so passionate about it. So let's get into it. So when I was a little less than 10 years old, I was actually homeschooled my whole life up until college. And at a very, very young age, I read about endangered animals in one of my workbooks. And I was like, oh my goodness, I had no idea that some animals were endangered. I have autism and animals are my special interest, especially cats. And so I was just flabbergasted, is a good word, that some animals were endangered. And so I went to my mom, I said, what can I do? How can I help? And she said, well, what can you make? And I just learned how to knit a couple years before that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can make washcloths and I can make beaded bracelets. So I started making washcloths and beaded bracelets, and we knew the manager of a local farmer's market, and she let us set up a table for a summer a couple times, and I raised $100 by selling $5 washcloths and $1 beaded bracelets. And I donated the money to World Wildlife Fund. I wrote them this handwritten letter about how much I loved what they were doing. I had spent my summer raising money for them. Could they send me some brochures or handouts to give out at events, because I wanted to keep raising money for them. And they sent me this pre-printed postcard back saying, thank you for your interest, see our website for more information. And I had already scoured that website. I knew that website. I just wanted brochures to give out at events. So I said, you know what? They don't appreciate what I'm doing. They're a huge organization. They don't care about what a 10-year-old is doing. And they missed out on over $100,000. Let's just say that. So I pivoted. We just adopted a cat from Forgotten Cats. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to raise money for Forgotten Cats. I loved their mission. I love what they did and continue to do. They mostly work with feral cats. So they will go out and spay and neuter and give medical care to feral cats. And if they find adoptable cats or kittens, then they will adopt those out. And they have spayed and neutered over, I don't know the exact number, I'll insert it here, but it's over 100,000 cats since they have started. And they've adopted out probably over 20,000 cats at this point as well. And so I was like, you know what? I want to work with them. And they were incredible. They let me come and volunteer in their surgery at 2 different locations. I was helping as much as I could as this little, like, probably at that point I was probably 11 or 12, and I just fell in love. At that point I thought, oh my god, I want to be a veterinarian. I started volunteering at my local veterinary clinic. Unfortunately, I got sick 4 years later with Lyme disease at that time and chronic illness, and my brain never switched back to being able to do science and math. So that dream never happened, unfortunately, but I still loved animals. And so we started raising money for Forgotten Cats, and I started having my friends join me. I would get them so excited. I'd be like, oh my gosh, can you knit something? Could you come to events and we'll tell people about what we're doing? And the key to these events was bringing people into the table and telling them our story. So I am a huge introvert, but my parents were like, you have to talk to people. You got to go out there. You got to tell them your story so that they'll want to support you. And I'm really grateful that they did that. It really pushed me outside my comfort zone, but the key to raising money is to share the story. And so I would say, hi, how are you? When people are walking by, you could tell by their response, are they open to talking to you? But you just ask them how they are, and then you say, today we're raising money for Forgotten Cats. 100% of the sales go to Forgotten Cats. We did not keep any of the money of everything that we ever donated. It all went back to help the kitties. And so, I would tell them 100% of the money goes to Forgotten Cats, and everything here is handmade by local volunteers. And that would bring people in. They'd be like, oh my gosh, did you start this? And like we would just tell them the whole story. We'd tell them about Forgotten Cats. It was just a really, really cool experience. And so, our product started from like one little table of these washcloths and these beaded bracelets, and then we had a whole booth that was just brimming with products that were handmade by community members. At one point we had over $10,000 in inventory at any given time. It was an incredible experience, and I met so many cool people. We had so many incredible volunteers. One of them, her name was Sophie. She was like 93, and we raised thousands of dollars with these crocheted catnip balls that she had made. She also made some baby afghans Afghans. Those catnip balls were a humongous hit since we were raising money for cats. A lot of people loved our cat themed things. We also had an incredible volunteer named Brenda who would sew the most beautiful things. She was a doll maker and she just had an eye for putting patterns together, and she was incredible. We probably raised at least $10,000 from the items that she made. It was an incredible experience to meet these community members who were as passionate about cats as I was, and it was a really, really cool experience. So I did that pretty much until I went away for college. I said, you know what, I need to take a break from this. I wanted to start a social venture with other things, and actually my first year at college I didn't start anything, although I did join a club, a student club that had just gotten started, so it was very entrepreneurial because we were just figuring everything out. But anyway, I went away to college and my mom actually became super passionate about continuing to raise money. She makes handmade soap. It's a shea butter base, all essential oils, and that's one of her big passions is actually soap making. And so she continued to make soap, and my dad has contributed. He has a lot of photography that he's made into photo cards. He makes these really cool beveled glass ornaments, and we've, you know, made other things over the years as well. When I used to be able to, with my joints, make things, I used to knit. I mean, I would constantly be knitting, and I would make so many knitted items to sell, you know, just everything. I would make friendship bracelets, I'll make beaded bracelets, so many different things I would make. Anything that we thought might be popular to help raise money for the cats. And since then, unfortunately, my joints pain has really gotten bad and I'm unable to knit anymore or make almost anything. Hi baby, do you want to come say hi? This video is about kitties. And this little baby here is from Forgotten Cats. She was a foster failure actually from Forgotten Cats, so she's the perfect little guest for today's video. But she wants to go run around. Oh no, she's gonna go on our little table here and rub against the camera. Good stuff. So anyway, like I said, I went away to college and my mom continued, and then my health, oh baby, then my health got so bad that I couldn't even help even if I wanted to. I would kind of come home from school for the events and help out on the day, and my mom would do all the inventory. So prepping for an event is so much work. You have to do inventory before the event, after the event. You have to prepare for the event, make sure all the tablecloths are washed. You have to print brochures. You have to make a price list. It is so much work. And at the height of our fundraising, I mean, we would do events in the spring almost every weekend, and in the fall, a lot of weekends as well. So we would do farmers markets and growers markets in the spring. The summer was too hot for us. The heat was just too much for my health issues, my mom's health issues. And then in the fall we would do craft fairs. Woodside always had an amazing craft fair that we did actually this year. Well, my mom did and my dad helped out. And then this next weekend we're gonna do our biggest event of the year. It is called Country Christmas. It is at the Avon Grove High School. This is the first year it's at the high school. It actually is moving location this year. It is from 10 to 3 on Saturday, December 6th. And I've been helping my mom because I'm on cephalexin right now, so I have energy. So like right now after this, actually I'm gonna go do the inventory. But this is our biggest event and always has been our biggest event of the year. At the height of our fundraising one year, we raised over $2,000 in one day at this event, just by selling our handmade products. It's an incredible, incredible event. It's a little too much for me now with my autism and overstimulation. It's in a big gym and I just can't handle it. So I will be there to help my mom set up and take down, and my dad will be there as well. But the actual selling part is too much for me at this point, unfortunately. But so many incredible years of raising money for Forgotten Cats, and this event was always the last event we would do. We would take off, you know, anything closer to Christmas was just too much. But one of the most incredible stories from this event is every year, unfortunately he hasn't come recently, so I don't know if something happened to him, or so this man, we would call him a guardian angel. One of the first years we were there, he came over towards the end of the event and he said, you know what, I usually make a donation to Forgotten Cats at the end of the year, but I'm gonna make it through you this year. And he donated $100. He would always say, oh, you know, my wife had a really, really great year selling this year at this event, and so here's $100 that he would just donate. I mean, he wouldn't want to buy anything in exchange for it. He would just donate. And he was just an incredible person, and he came by almost every year towards the end, and a couple years he donated $200, we would just call him our guardian angel. I mean, you would not, looking at him, expect him to donate that much. He was kind of this tougher looking guy, and he was just this incredible person, and I will never forget. So it is a very special event in my heart, this country Christmas, and so I hope you will come check it out. Like I said, all the Facebook details is below. There's over 100 vendors. It is really incredible. There's vendors from different states that come over. It's a really incredible event, and I always love like shopping there as well. Anyway, that is kind of the story of how we've raised so much money for forgotten cats. And my mom has continued the nonprofit. Like I said, when I can, I help out mostly just with marketing at this point, since my physical energy is so limited. Although right now I'm on cephalexin, so I am able to help with inventory, but normally I am not. And so my mom, even though she also has health problems, has been continuing to literally lead these events, and my dad will come on the day of and help, which is really nice as well. And we've had some volunteers still come out and help over the years that my mom has continued to coordinate, because that was always a big thing too, was we had these volunteers, and I would send out this to this volunteer list, hey, this upcoming event, can you come help out? But yeah, like I said, these events are a lot of work, and it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it. But it's just been incredible to know how many cats we've helped, and to know it goes to such an incredible organization that is doing everything they can to support cats, especially cats that other people usually just overlook, like feral cats. And so yeah, the organization has just had such a special place in my heart. This experience of like starting a nonprofit and just continuing to raise money for forgotten cats, and seeing my mom continue the nonprofit basically, has been incredible. And I'm really just so grateful to the community for like helping us get to this point. And my mom is doing such an incredible job of continuing the nonprofit and continuing the impact. I mean, we used to do like 10, 12 events in a year, maybe even more, and now we just do sometimes 2, sometimes 3. And when I say we, it's my mom, and then my dad will come and help on the day of, and then some other volunteers sometimes. But yeah, we're just like so grateful to all the amazing people who have made products too. We have a jewelry maker, Margie, who's incredible. We have so many different people who have made amazing things. We have someone named Ava who has been making kitty kick sticks, and they are just beautiful. Oh my gosh, they're one of our most popular items, are these sewn kitty kick sticks with catnip in them. Top 10. They're one of our most popular items. So it's just been incredible. I mean, there's so many people out there that I could name that I'm so grateful for and thankful for. There's so many people with forgotten cats that have been incredible as well. But yeah, that's kind of the story of how I started a nonprofit when I was 10, how we raised so much money. And this is just kind of an overview. If there's any questions you have, or any, additional things you want me to talk about, I'm happy to do that in the future as well. But I just kind of wanted to talk about this because this is a project that has stuck with me for like 17 years now, 18 years, and I'm just so grateful to see where it is now and the impact that we continue to make. So thanks for listening, my friends. I really, really hope you come and check out our event this weekend if you are in this area. It would mean so much if you came and did some holiday shopping at our booth and supported us and what we do, and Forgotten Cats and what they do and their mission, and other vendors as well. So thanks for listening, friends. I will be back next week with another video, and I will talk to you soon.